Welcome back to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we were watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome back, Steve.
Welcome back, Ben, to my home.
Once again, we skip a week because, I don't know, lots of different things. This is just a bi-weekly podcast now. If you get 26 episodes in a year, be grateful for it.
Well, in our defense, put out better stuff.
There's plenty of things to talk about, but, Steve's standards are just so damn high. We have Nick with us this time.
What up?
We're going to be talking about Project Hail Mary along with a bunch of other things. I got tons of news and trailers and stuff to talk about. Let's roll the die first.
Three.
Damn it! This might be your year, buddy.
I don't know about that. 17 right here, right?
15.
Okay.
16. 16.
Yeah. Nick's always a pretty good roller, even though his points don't matter. I don't even calculate his at the end of the year.
11.
Okay.
It would be fun, though, if we weirdly tied, and then I guess Nick's points wouldn't matter anyway, but it's just
he's not here enough to
Yeah. There should be some sort of based on the number of points he gets, how many...
Okay, if it's even, you get the extra point. If it's odd, I get the point. How about that?
That works.
All right. Well, I win. Nick's busy. He doesn't have anything to say this instant. But let's do news and trailers and deaths. Okay. We had a big death. Chuck Norris died at 86. I feel worse if he was a better person. He's a classic in the meme world and everything, but he's MAGA, so who gives a fuck if he dies, Eat shit, Chuck Norris. They said you were invincible, and death doesn't come for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris, takes death's job, or any of those dumb fucking jokes.
I was gonna say, do you have a favorite Chuck Norris?
I mean, at the time, it's he doesn't do a push-up. He actually pushes the world down. It's he didn't die. He's just swimming the river Styx for cardio. But as the years went on, have you seen, how many Chuck Norris movies have you seen? Any?
I was talking to somebody about this. It was what was the last thing he did? And they were just was it Dodgeball? I was like, Dodgeball, 2004?
No.
But I was no, he did the Expendables.
He was in the Expendables,
cameos and
stuff. But everything he did was canon films that were, Invasion USA. There's a lot of fun old 80s and 90s Chuck Norris stuff when everything was just exploding and he was kicking people in his jeans. But as soon as Walker Texas Ranger happened, who gives a fuck? He doesn't do anything. I remember being a kid
and thinking Walker Texas Ranger was awesome.
Yeah, I never watched it. The only thing I can remember
Looking
from
back
that
now, it's not a good show. But at the time, I was oh man, Texas dudes kicking ass, hell yeah.
There's an episode with Haley Joel Osment where they're wow, you're a real brave kid, and he's yeah, thanks. I have AIDS. It's a really funny scene. But okay, R.I.P. I guess, but go hang out with fucking Hulk Hogan in hell.
Well, I was just gonna say my favorite one. Well, there might be one I like more, but it's the one that always stuck with me. Was Chuck Norris went to the Virgin Islands on vacation. Now they're just called the Islands. I always like that one. Yeah.
It's a good premise for a joke,
yeah.
And you need someone to be that person, so it's fine. But whatever, no biggie. So, a couple of new trailers. But before we get into them, when I saw Ready or Not 2, there was a bunch of horror trailers.
Okay.
And the Backrooms trailer came on, and someone in the audience went
just the teaser where it's going down the...
Yes, okay, just the teaser. And someone in the audience went, "Oh, it's the back doors." And I thought that was funny. Back doors your butt, so that's the
level, the high bar of comedy.
Yeah, that's the SNL joke. I mean, maybe the Mad TV joke for the Backrooms. But anywho, two major trailers.
I wonder what they could be.
We'll talk Dune 3 first.
Okay.
Dune as a series is really great. Some people call it like this generation's Lord of the Rings or this generation's Star Wars. I don't think that's the case at all.
No.
It doesn't have the cultural relevance as all of them, and you're on one fucking planet the whole time and it's all brown. At least Star Wars has a ton of different weird, wacky characters. Lord of the Rings, you go to a million different places. It's not that equivalent.
Yeah, both those franchises in varying degrees are fun, where like at no point in Dune are you just like, man, this is a fun movie. It's cool looking.
It's cool.
It's
a really well made.
Like there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not like a one that where the whole family's like, I can't wait to go watch Dune again.
Yeah. And I said it when we were watching the Dune 2 is, something like Star Wars has a simplicity to it where when you say he's part of the dark side, you know what that is. Yeah. Bad guy. You mention anything from Dune and you need the definition. You need a translation because all of their Moab Deep and all that stuff, you don't get any context for it. And so because it's so strange, it's never going to catch on with the cultural zeitgeist of everything. So they will always be these really great movies, but they'll never be what Lord of the Rings is or Star Wars is.
I think the only thing that's really carried over from the Dune franchise is the Lisan al-Gaib. I see that in comment sections all the time when anyone thinks this person's awesome. It's like, oh, this guy's the chosen one. I specifically when they're talking about Timothée Chalamet. But I
hear more of may my blade chip and shatter or something. I see
cool
that.
Line, though.
It is cool. But what do you think of this trailer? I think it's kind of a boring trailer because since Dune is all just brown, it all looks the same to me. There's a couple of rice paddy hats in it that I found kind of weird, some samurai looking dudes, but besides that, it just looks more of the same.
Yeah, I would say that is mostly true, but it's not like the other two trailers weren't all brown as well.
Yeah.
So it's what you're getting when you get Dune. But I liked the trailer. I like the Dune movies. I like Denis Villeneuve. And so I'm looking forward to this movie. It's just cool costume design and all that stuff. And it's cast that you like and I've seen in a bunch of stuff. I don't have a problem with this trailer. It's Dune.
Do you know what happens in the books?
Vaguely, and obviously this trailer's going this is for a trilogy. We're done after this. This is the finale. Yeah. So it'd be interesting.
We're not doing morphing into a worm later.
Yeah, there's so much weird stuff where it's good.
We don't.
You're never going to adapt all 7 or 10 of them there is.
Maybe in 70 years you could do the weird version.
Yeah, you can do Dune Messiah. I assume it's more of that stuff. Or you just either cut all that stuff that happens in later books, or you just kind of fast forward to the very end of the last book and go this is where they're at now. But yeah, there's stuff with his children that I doubt we're going to see any of that in this. I think there's going to be a great departure from whatever books they're trying to adapt. But I think it looks cool.
I'm going to make a wild prediction because I don't know really much of anything, but it's going to end with it rains on Arrakis. Finally, he brings water back and they don't have to fear anymore. And, things start growing. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
And then the other trailer is Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
Yeah.
I was talking about it with Nick and he's not very impressed with it, which I get. We've had a million Spider-Man movies, but I don't know. I think this looks really fucking cool.
I think it is a Spider-Man trailer.
No, I get that, but with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, we have not gotten any web swinging around New York City. Except for in Infinity War when he's chasing down Ebony Maw at the very beginning. Everything else is overseas, on the Statue of Liberty, in DC. There's not classic Spider-Man swinging through New York, and it looks like we're getting that. Yeah. So I'm very happy for that.
I'm interested to see I'm always happy to see a Spider-Man movie that seemingly isn't him interacting with all the other heroes. Obviously he runs into Bruce Banner.
Sure.
But it seems, at least from the trailer, more here's the one scene that he's in, or I'm asking him questions, but he's not going to Hulk out or anything.
Yeah, I don't expect us to see the Hulk in this.
Yeah. And I like that it seems like they're doing Man-Spider.
Or potentially.
Yeah, or if it could just be a misdirect.
Yeah,
but
or it's like he's going through the mutation so he can just get web organic shooters, but not do the multi-armed guy.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great way to end it, or a post-credit scene of him turning into that. It doesn't have to be a focus in this, because there's ninjas, there's like 7 different villains. We have Sadie Sink. We have all this stuff going on. We don't need Mutant Spider as well.
Yeah.
But if it was something that was leading to the next one, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, of all the Spider-Man movies, like, I don't dislike any of them, and so I'm sure I won't dislike this movie. And I imagine I'll have a good time. But the trailer didn't necessarily blow me away, but it didn't also turn me off in any real way.
But I don't know, that shot inside the mask of him just like being so ho-hum, even though he's free falling from like the Chrysler building. Love that shot.
It's a good shot.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm more hyped for this than I'd say Avengers Doomsday. You know, like you can't miss with Spider-Man. They don't have really bad ones, especially with Tom Holland. Say what you will about Amazing Spider-Man, but like he's always solid in everything. So, any predictions on who Sadie Sink is? Everyone's saying Jean Grey. I think it's weird if she's Jean Grey in this.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't care.
I think she's going to be his daughter from like the future. Mayday Parker. I think it's that.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know how that works out with like if Mary Jane is black with dark hair and he's white with dark hair. How you get a redhead? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe she could just be a Spider-Verse sort of thing, a different dimension version.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I don't see Jean Grey. Even though we get that weird psychic moment, like with the tank. There's an old lady in the tank and her mind goes into other people. But like Jean Grey's not a bad guy unless she's the Phoenix. And I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, we're leading to X-Men, but why would we introduce it this way?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. As long as we all just have a good time, That's
what even matters? Who cares,
man? Is there anybody like I was happy to see Nacho back as Scorpion.
Finally. What has it been, like 11, 12 years?
It's been a while.
Like he hasn't done much of anything since Better Call Saul. So I'm happy that they teased his Scorpion and he's actually in it. It's not just a guy with a tattoo. He actually gets a suit. I'm very happy. And I can see him being one of those throwaway villains. Like we see a guy called the Boomerang and the Tarantula, like those freeze frame shots that they're like taken from comic book panels. I could see those being just throwaway because look how all the good things Spider-Man's doing for the city, and you cut to
it's just a montage of him.
Yeah, and I could see Scorpion being one of those that you actually get a fight with it, but he's not that important. Apparently Tombstone is in this as well. We don't see him in the trailer. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. I know it's always just pitched, but at this point, just give us Miles. I mean,
sooner or later, I think what Sony is doing is like we want to do Miles. They want to kind of revamp their whole alternate Spider-Man franchise. Like they're done with their Venoms and their Madam Web, and I think they want to launch Miles.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, they can't do any of that right. If you want to let them work
Sony
with
made
you.
The PlayStation games, which are incredible.
Yeah, get those guys making your movies. Whoever's in charge doing your Madam Webs and your Venoms, not good.
That's the only thing that would really, other than like across the Spider-Verse 3 or whatever it's called,
Beyond the
Spider-Verse. Yeah, like outside of that, like I think that's the only thing that would really like excite me about seeing like Spider-Man movies, like getting Miles in there. Whether that's just like a solo movie or him and Tom Holland doing like a team up movie before he goes off to do his own.
Yeah, I think that would be a great way to do it.
I very much want a Miles.
Yeah, and I don't really want Miles from another dimension either, because that's where Miles came from. Just make him someone from here. Because the MCU doesn't need a multiverse stuff. We're working away from that. Once Doomsday is done, we're not going to be having any more multiverse stuff. I think it should just be another Spider-Man. I don't know how he gets bit and all that. Who cares? Doesn't really matter. But yeah, you're right. Miles needs to show up.
There you go.
Okay. I got plenty of stuff, but I think we need to talk about the Oscars a little bit.
Sure.
Did you watch it? Nick and I sat and watched it.
I was working that night, so I did not get a chance to watch it, but I did watch certain clips online the following day.
Yeah, pretty good Oscars.
That's what I heard.
Compared to some seasons, some years, it was actually entertaining, and it's mainly Conan O'Brien.
I love Conan.
That guy rules.
Yeah.
The intro,
the monologue, dead air on some of those jokes, which was a bummer.
Sure, and you can tell he didn't necessarily know they were back from commercial, and he's just talking to people. A little sloppy of production, especially with the sound.
Yeah.
Some of the sound was awful. And I don't know the group that was doing the K-pop Demon Hunters song. They didn't sound great, and I don't know if that was them or their mics, but there was a lot of in and out with the sound.
Yeah, I saw the Bridesmaids bit, which was funny.
That was the worst bit. No, I'm sorry. The worst bit was Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. That was not funny. Asking for their anniversary gift. But one thing that you caught, Nick, was that he calls him Channing Tatum. He calls him Tanning Chatham. Mm-hmm. Not as a joke, just fucks his name up on air, and that was pretty good.
I thought he was doing a bit.
No, I think he just stumbles over his words and calls him Tanning Chatham.
Oh, okay.
If he was saying, I got his Channing Tatum's Speedo while he's tanning, if there was a joke in there, but he just says, I got Tanning Tatum's Speedo from Magic Mike. And it's he just fucked up his name.
Oh, okay.
But their stuff was very not funny. But Conan's intro was so good. The weapons bit was so funny. And running through K-pop Demon Hunters and everything. I really was hoping he would run through If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And just kind of run by his doctor's office. I thought that would have been pretty good. Someone had to have pitched that, but maybe he thought it was too self-serving or something.
Yeah.
But I have an idea for the Oscars.
Okay.
We always have said, what award should they add or take away or anything? They added a new one for best, ensemble casting. I think there should be a new rule that you take all the winners, or the majority of the winners, and you have to make a movie with them. So the best director has to take the best actor and actresses, supporting and main, best adapted screenwriter, original screenwriter, and the music people, and they have to, their next project, that's kind of a rule. If you want to win this award, your next project is this combined thing. And you get these people together and they got to figure something out. Maybe they already had an idea of something, but you go, okay, well, Sean Penn and Amy Madigan, they're married and their kid is Jessie Buckley and she's marrying, what's his face? Michael B. Jordan. And maybe they're racist and they don't like it. Okay, that's the start of your movie. And I don't know where you get the genre from. Maybe it's from short film or animation, whatever. I don't know all the rules yet, but they're forced to do it. So Paul Thomas Anderson's next movie, hey, you want to win Best Director? Cool. But now you have to make this movie. The Oscars fund it. And, they'll figure out, a minimum, maximum budget or whatever. And then that's just the next thing they have to work on. They're on something else. Well, you could finish that up, but your next thing, you're contracted to do that. And it's not up for awards on the next year. They can't win anything, but they're forced to do this.
I don't like it.
It's fun.
It's a fun idea that I think there's a lot of red tape there that I don't think would be worth it for anyone involved, so therefore would not do it. Because you're basically saying hey, who won? Paul Thomas Anderson. Mm-hmm. Hey, this guy who exclusively does original stuff on his own timeline. Now you have to make this movie with people that you may not like or care about or have any interest in doing it. Because we want to see the best directors work on projects they care about, and you're going, hey, go make a movie with people who don't necessarily care about this project. With you who doesn't
learn to care about it. Work with the screenwriters and figure out what you want to make. They're open to doing whatever they want. They just got to all work together.
I think it's easier said than done. That's all.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's get into actual stuff. Oh, any surprises for the Oscars where he's I know you said back in the day Amy Madigan's not winning for Weapons.
I couldn't believe she won.
Yeah, that's more of a fan thing.
really liked weapons, and she was a fun, crazy person. But at no point in that movie was I watching that going like, yeah, she's got this on lock. That's craziness. I mean, good for her.
Yeah.
But
what about Michael B. Jordan? Did you expect that?
I didn't. I mean, as it got closer and there was like rumblings that it could happen, like it didn't necessarily surprise me, but it was slightly surprising just from the fact that it just seemed like this is a Timothy and DiCaprio
I'm
race.
so happy Marty Supreme didn't win shit. Fuck you. Fuck all your posturing.
But sorry. Like I have no problem with Michael B. Jordan winning because I really enjoyed Sinners and I think he was really good in it. But it just seems like DiCaprio and Chalamet had like Oscar performances,
Sure.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where like
he's playing a cool dude, like, who he is.
They just seem like, okay, these are definitely like you could pull any scene from these movies because they're such big performances. Like those are going to be, any scene is the clip that they play right before as they do the nominations. Where like even though Michael B. Jordan was playing two characters, they were so sort of like kind of like calm and subdued. There was no like big moment in those movies where I was just like, oh, this is like Michael B. Jordan like acting real here.
If there was a difference between the two, one was the shy, nervous one, and one was the suave asshole, and you can tell the difference because watching that movie, I didn't really know which was Smoke and which was Stack, except their hat, and it really didn't matter which one was which because like you kind of knew who it was. Like, oh, this one's interacting with this character, so I know who it is. But it didn't really truly matter story-wise.
Yeah. But good for Michael B. Jordan. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Real quick before we move on, do I have anything in here? I knew we'd talk about... I have one piece of news that I assume you saw, and I'm not sure how much you care, if it's too little too late, but Firefly is getting an animated series.
Yeah.
And that's kind of exciting. I liked Firefly, but I was never on the, like, this is the greatest show of all time train. Like, it really needs to come back. Like, if it came back, great, but it never, like, bothered me that it didn't.
Yeah. Well, you were also very young when it initially came out.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see Serenity until, like, I became friends with you. So Serenity was, like, 2005, and I didn't watch it till 2015 or something like that. Like, I didn't even really know Serenity was from that universe until you told me about it. And Serenity, pretty solid movie.
Pretty great. And the show will ignore it. The show is going to pick up after the show, not the movie, because it's owned by different people.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to ignore...
I haven't looked at any details of it.
They're ignoring Serenity
happening
completely. So, yes, Shepard Book still has to be dead because that actor is dead, but Wash will be back, even though he died in the movie.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the fans of Firefly. I'm glad you guys are at least getting some version of what you want.
Yeah.
And I think this is the best case scenario since they've all aged 25 years.
Sure. You could do it, but it would feel weird if they're the same people on that ship doing the thing.
Yeah.
At least now we could pick up right where the show left off, and it doesn't matter how old they are.
Right, exactly.
I'm just happy to see Summer Glau again, because when was the last time you saw Summer Glau do anything? Sarah Connor? I think it's
call back to earlier in our episode.
I think it's like the Sarah Connor Chronicles was the last thing I saw her do anything. Summer Glau doesn't have much of a career.
saw her in Knights of Badassdom.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true. Okay. I love Summer Glau.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go real quick. There is a show that, I don't know, I think maybe you would like, Steve.
Sold already.
It's called Paradise. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, I'm aware of Paradise. People have pitched it to me before.
Okay. I'm waiting till season 2 gets over so I could just binge it. But it really does feel like Lost meets 24, where it's like there is a mystery and they're only feeding you a little bit of information. Like you have the mystery of who killed the president and what the hell happened outside this cave. And you get answers by the end of season 1. And I'm excited to see where it goes, but I can't see it being all that interesting. I'm not going to get really into plot here. But
is there a smoke monster?
No smoke monster. Now, nothing supernatural. But I think if you like not Michael K. Williams.
Sterling K. Brown.
Jesus There's a K. Christ, there's a K. Racist. That's all that. Hey.
Rosa K. Parks.
there's a K, so it's fine. And James Marsden.
K.
If you like them, you'll like this. It is a fun, engaging story, but it's also kind of stupid at times. Where you could watch one episode and it's like, I got you dead to rights. You're a traitor. You're a terrorist, and I could kill you now. But I need something from you. So you need to drop your whole, uprising to go solve this crime for me. And then it's like the story kind of screeches to a halt so someone can go do something like, this doesn't feel very realistic at all. But I don't know. I had a really good time watching it.
Okay. It's probably would be on the back burner of shows. So if I get to it, it'll be like 3 years from now.
Yeah. Nick, you said you need 60 seconds. I'll give you 60 seconds.
Oh, God. I mean, I don't think... I've listened to you guys before, and I don't really hear you guys talk about music at all. So I know you don't give a fuck about any of this. So I've listened to a ton more than this, but I'll just do 2 things. Funny enough, I feel like I was talking to you, Steve, not too long ago about Jack Harlow and where the fuck has Jack Harlow been?
Probably.
And then out of nowhere, he dropped a 9-track album, and I listened to it, and it's not for me. I don't like it. I gave the first 2 songs, the entire thing. I gave 30 seconds of each other song. It's all R&B. There's hardly any rap. It's like a melodic kind of rap. I don't know. It's just not for me. I could see maybe someone like you who I feel like has like a little bit more of a refined palette when it comes to music.
That's very generous of you.
I'm just being honest. I do think I told you guys, I don't know if it's on the podcast and on record, but my Spotify Wrapped told me last year that my average listening age was 18 or 19. So I think maybe you might like it more than me. I don't know, but for me, I thought it was kind of boring. I feel like all of the instrumentals on it are soulless. For an album that's supposed to be soulful R&B, it's lacking soul to me. All the instrumentals, all the beats, everything feels like it's missing 2 or 3 layers. It just feels really bare bones, like a fucking boneless wing. That's how it feels to me. I'm not. Someone out there might really fuck with the new Jack Harlow, but it's just
a mild sauced boneless wing.
Yeah, and there's no flavor to this shit. It's the most Caucasian, non-Caucasian release. I don't know. It's just not for me. Maybe I need to revisit it. I don't know. Not fucking with it.
Was that one of them?
Do you... Okay.
Basically,
Nick's saying it's so white, Steve would probably like it.
Who's the whitest person we know? Steve!
In all honesty, I'm saying you might...
No, I'm just messing with
you. It might be more up your alley. I need more... I was hoping for more, bangers and stuff.
Yeah,
It's really, most deaf, but, and take out all of the fucking soul. I don't know. Anyway, the other thing that I did really like, there's a band called Erra that I listened to since 2009. Neither of you would give a shit, but it's progressive metalcore, I would say. It's just sweeping, melodic, choruses juxtaposed with really heavy vocals. Beautiful stuff. I actually did an edit with their music on TikTok that I really liked that nobody gave a fuck about, but really love Erra. And it'll probably be an album of the year for me. But we'll see, because we're only in March, so something comes out every 3 days, I feel like, because I listen to so much shit. But yeah, Erra, awesome stuff.
Give us a rating out of 10 on each one, or a grade, or whatever.
I really should revisit Jack Harlow and give it another chance, but if we're going off I stayed up till midnight and listened to it off of what I listened to, it's a 4 out of 10. Will not come back to. But maybe I should give it another chance. Erra is a 9 out of 10. One of the best albums I've heard in the last 6 months. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've only got the one thing.
Okay, well, let me do some of my stuff real quick.
Go for it.
Saw Undertone, the scariest movie you'll see all year.
You'll hear all year.
Oh, that's true. Yes. I actually really dug it. Everybody I seem to talk to outside of me seems to think it was kind of a waste of time, kind of boring, kind of not scary. And I think it's one, if you have a good surround sound and you lock in and just kind of be with the movie, it's pretty creepy. The whole time, it's dark shadows and slow pans. That's the whole movie. She sits down to record her podcast. It slowly pans over into an open doorway, and you look, and there's something in there. You know there's something in there. And then it just pans back. And you're like, okay, well, next time. And then you get another pan, and then you saw something. It's actually a reflection of a reflection. And the whole time you're on edge for something to happen. And really, nothing happens. But it works because it puts you in that mode. And I dug it. I thought it was good. But if you watch it on your phone as you're driving your car, you're not going to get the same effect.
Don't do that.
You shouldn't do that anyways, but people do that. But all in all, I had a good time. I would say it's like this year's Presents, maybe. They're not the same, but a lot of people, they saw Presents like, what the fuck was even that? You didn't even see the fucking ghost. It was not even good until the very end. And
what even was that?
What even was that? Yeah, so... But different degrees, for sure. And this is like a first-time filmmaker, and I don't even think the acting's all that good, but I think that the sound design is really great.
All right, so you can feel free to cut this. I'm just going to ask you, is there a supernatural element to it?
There's a demon that, you listen to the recordings of her, so you're inviting her in, and then... she possesses your half-dead mom, but you don't open up a closet and this big tentacle monster comes out and scares you. There's nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's not really about the lore,
Just about the vibe.
It's just the vibe.
Sounds like Skinamarink.
It's better than Skinamarink.
Yeah, Skinamarink is pretentious as fuck. I saw Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. I don't know what to call it. It's either Ready or Not, Here I Come, or Ready or Not 2. They use both of them on the poster.
Here I Come.
But it sounds weird to say Ready or Not 2, Here I Come.
It's just for the fools that, didn't know it was a sequel, I guess. I don't know.
But it's this is how you do it. Now you see me, now you see me too, now you see me, now you don't. No, you do the follow-up if you have a thing. And it's if you make a part 3 of this, I don't know, you call it Ollie Ollie Oxenfree or something.
Oh, that'd be good.
This is a good movie that was completely unnecessary. It's more of the same. But do you like Catherine Newton? Do you like
Samara
Weaving? Then you'll like this. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar. I like Sean Hennessy. Elijah Wood. Both from the Faculty. It's nice seeing them together. There's a lot to this that I enjoyed. But it is just what you're getting into. But, I dug it. It was fun. I had a good time.
Did you see Ready or Not?
No, I didn't see either one.
Get me there. I don't have much to add. I think you hit the nail on the head. What I said about Ready or Not was did you like the first one? Well, here's more of the same.
Yep.
I just wish they'd taken it a little further.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest thing about the first one that stood out in most people's minds is everybody exploding at the end.
Yeah.
It's oh shit, I didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you get more of that. But and then you almost there's the opportunity to take it a little further and maybe see what's the guy's name?
I mean, not Satan, but Satan. Yeah.
The cult leader that probably prays to Satan, whatever. Yeah. That guy. You get exactly him, a flash of him on the chair again, just nodding over.
Uh-huh.
I really was hoping for something a little more crazy at the end.
Because you don't necessarily know that they are devil worshippers in the first one.
Yeah, until they're saying "Hail Satan."
But you know that from the jump on this one. Yes. So what's the twist in this?
Yeah,
I thought Elijah Wood was going to end up being Satan himself and be I just come down and do this for fun.
Yeah.
And this is how I I preside over all the things. But he didn't blow up. So he is either he never gave his soul over to Satan, or he was just hired by Satan, or he's a demon himself, So I thought we would get something crazy with him.
Yeah. I mean, I do like him in this movie. I like just watching him kind of just watch all of the participants in this game, and some of them mess up or do the wrong thing, and he's just kind of like, well, sorry, you're fucked.
You gotta do it.
I just, like I said, I just wish it taken it a little further. Everybody in it is super likable. It's super fun. There's really no reason you would not like this movie if you didn't like the first one, but I don't know that it feels entirely necessary as credits roll for me.
If it was like 2 years after the first one, it'd be fine, but it's been like 7. And it feels like, maybe we didn't need to do this.
Yeah.
But those guys made like 2 Scream movies in the middle. Like they had other things to do.
Yeah, I would say my biggest gripe, and it's not really that big of a gripe because I gave this movie a pretty positive review. It's just I wish her, Samara Weaving's character, and then her sister as well. I wish they were just a little more competent because like I'm watching them, and it was the same thing in the first one because I actually rewatched the first one before I watched this one. And so it was really fresh on my mind. And in both movies, like her, and then in the sequel, her and her sister are getting out of like every situation by like pure luck, or the total like incompetency of the rest of them who didn't train or never thought this would happen.
And you can chalk it up to that, like, well, they think this is going to be an easy win, so they're not trying that hard. But
I don't know, but like even with Sarah Michelle Gellar and her brother are like the main, I don't want to say the main villains, but like they're the sons, daughters of the
main dude.
Yeah, the main dude. And like there's moments where like he's toying with her sister and stuff. It's just like just kill her already. The only like
but same with them. There's plenty of times like I'm not a killer and I'm not playing your game. Like just kill them.
Just make it over. And then like that's one of my favorite parts about this movie is Samara Weaving's character like picking up a shotgun that actually has ammo. Yeah. In the first movie, she gets a shotgun that has the ammo is fake, but whatever. In this movie, she finally gets like a shotgun and she like kills the ex-fiance, and like that's like the first like actual full-fledged kill that she does.
Besides like the washing machine,
and that I like because it's like she's finally like, all right,
you've broken me, and now I'm gonna play your game.
I just wish there was a little more of that.
But that woman, I don't know who she is. Beautiful.
The ex-fiance. Oh yeah, sure.
I just know her. She was on Gen V.
Okay. But yeah, I like the movie, and I like both of them.
Yeah, they're good scream queens. They've done plenty of horror. Is Samara Weaving Australian or is she British? Do you know?
Australian.
She's Australian?
Okay. Right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love Samara Weaving. She's great.
Yeah, like she's so messy looking for this whole movie. And then the very last like 15 minutes, she's getting married.
In that black gown and
she gets done up, actually eyeliner and made up. It's like, oh yeah, Samara Weaving's like fucking hot as shit. She's not just a messy, disgusting mess.
I didn't love like when they're leaving the hospital and she's like, I gotta wear something and puts on her old wedding dress.
Like, puts on the Converse.
We don't need that. Like here's a chance to give a new iconic look for that character and now.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah. Thumbs up. No, I don't hate any of it.
Agreed.
My last thing I'll talk about before we get into all the stuff we both have watched. I know we've already talked about it, Nick, but fucking Ted 2. Ted Season 2 came, and it's
came and went.
They dumped all the episodes all at one time. So I burned through it in 2 days. It is so fucking funny. It is like one of the funniest shows I have seen in such a long time. It was so
on what streaming service? Peacock. Okay.
Yeah. It's so good. Like I rewatched season 1 and then I watched both the movies again. Just because like Ted and John are such a good pairing, but they're not even the best characters in this show.
Susan.
Yeah, Susan and Maddie. It's
Scott Grimes.
Scott Grimes and Elena Ubach. No, what's her name? It's not Elena.
I just know her as "Shut up, baby dick." That's what I know her from.
Yes,
waiter. Waitress.
Oh yeah, and she's on one. Alana Ubach. She's so good, and it's like I'm glad that people are recognizing her. I've seen a lot of like compilations of all of her roles and just the different races she's played and the accents. She's just so incredibly funny, and she's just so lovable in this. And like, there's a episode where she goes to jail, and like all these hardened criminals like fall in love with her because she's such a good person and she reforms them. And Scott Grimes is great because we get a lot of like kind of asshole characters, but he's like a truly a huge piece of shit. Not since like not Fatty Arbuckle, but fuck, I just had his name.
The no respect guy whose name is slipping my mind.
ShamWow.
ShamWow.
I'm just throwing shit.
Okay. Archie Bunker. Oh. Not since Archie Bunker have we had a character who is just like openly racist and terrible. Like he always learns little lessons, but always has some terrible thing to say. And he's just such a great character, especially playing Steve in American Dad, and what a wholesome, adorable, great character on that.
My favorite American Dad character.
The second best American Dad character behind Roger. No one's better than Roger. And it's just a cast full of great people and with really funny jokes, and it's terrific. And I will, as long as I have Peacock, I will go back and rewatch this show plenty of times.
Yeah, I'd very much like to watch it, but unfortunately I just don't have Peacock, so it probably won't happen.
One of your sisters has got to have it, right?
Do they?
You should ask around. All right. Now let's get to the big stuff. We're already 42 minutes in. Let's get to the big stuff.
How's the D&D episode? That's the only one I was like, I've seen like little snippets.
That episode feels like that in the prison episode. They both feel like if we got to season 4 or 5, this is the type of shit you'd be doing. So it feels a little out of place, but it is pretty funny because everybody is like the mom, this, sweet Catholic lady. She's the like barbarian character. And then Maddie, the asshole racist, he's like the cleric. And it's weird seeing Brennan Lee Mulligan talk about like smoking weed and stuff and like kind of like being a shitty dude, but it is just very much Brennan Lee Mulligan in it. But it's good because like in Community, their D&D episode is really creative. You don't go into the world where you see them in costume fighting demons and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's good. It's not my favorite episode of the season. Okay, so what do you want to talk about first? Primal? Probably? No, you got to think first.
I'll just make it 30 seconds. I beat Sons of Sparta. It's a game I downloaded because I thought you and I could play together.
We can now.
We can now. Because it was like, Sons of Sparta is 2 players. I was like, sweet, we need a game to play.
New game. Yeah.
But turns out you need to beat the game to unlock a 2-player mode that is just like challenges or whatever. Okay. You don't go through the game. Anyway, as a big fan of God of War, I was like, fuck it, I'll play it. I enjoyed it overall. I'm not like a big Metroid type player because it's a Metroid type game where you're like traversing the map. Massive map, jumping up ledges and stuff to take you other parts, and then you have to backtrack to do things. And that's like the only thing that's like slightly annoying. And there's so many things like you discover, here's a tree that offers a challenge. Here's a thing to unlock to get this chest, but you don't have the right tools. But you won't get the tools until like 8 hours later in the game. And I think I put in 15 hours roughly when I beat the game. But combat, mostly fun, but I was pretty much doing the same moves over and over again, even though there is like a skill tree of like different skills you could use, but I almost never used them. And also like there's things that you get that help you like, so there's like yellow chests, for example, that you needed to do a special move to open, but I didn't know that was the case, and it never told me that, and so I'm like, what item do I need to fucking unlock to where I need to hit this thing? And I look it up, it's like, just press R1 and the punch button, and then you can do it. I was like, I could have been doing this the entire time, and no point does it say that, I don't think.
Why? Why do you need to hold an extra button to open a chest?
Well, it's not like it's like a
move to unlock it?
It's like a wooden box that you need to like just do a special move to like smash it open, essentially. It doesn't matter.
That's stupid, and I hate it.
There was a couple times throughout this game where there's a thing like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here, and there was a simple answer, but the game doesn't tell you that's the case. Or if it does, it mentions it so quickly, and I just forgot about it.
You're one of those, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not like... but I did have a good time. The enemy variety was pretty... large. There wasn't too much I was frustrated with other than like the backtracking element to it and remembering, okay, I have this move now, I can go here. Like for a game that looks like it was from 30 years ago. It felt pretty. It was still fun and moved well, and I thought like looked good. And I'm a fan of like Greek mythology and lore, and so all that stuff was fun. And seeing Sparta and seeing Kratos like have a personality other than like angry guy who smashes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's kind of like an angry kid who smashes stuff, but like can joke with his brother.
But he also has a larger vocabulary.
Yeah. Like they're just constantly talking. I liked his relationship with his brother, played by the guy who does the voice for Robin on Teen Titans, which was weird to hear the entire time and kind of felt out of place. And ultimately, like, did it do anything much for me? Like, if you made the same exact game but took the God of War element out to it, I'm like, I don't know how much I would care.
Yeah.
And like by the end, so the whole mission of the game is, hey, one of your fellow, because you're like a cadet essentially in the Spartan army, and you have this pass that lets you go out into the world because they're like, all right, you're able to survive now. Go out into the world and like fight monsters or whatever. But one of your brother's kind of friends goes missing, and they're like, and the whole game is just you trying to find this guy and find clues of like is he alive, is he dead, where did he go, and then eventually you find him, and then the game just kind of like you fight the final boss, and the game just kind of ends. Like obviously the game does a thing where like, okay, if there's anything you missed, you can now like go through the world and go do those things. But like the story just didn't grab me because we're constantly looking for this guy, and I didn't understand like why it was so important. And it was just kind of like, well, the guy himself isn't that important. It's the idea of like Kratos like working with his brother, and will he like disobey orders to do the right thing versus what's like right for quote unquote Sparta, and like challenging each other's beliefs and stuff. And so that stuff like kind of works, but ultimately it gets to the end like, okay, that was the whole game. So 6 or 7 out of 10. Like I liked it. I would probably play it again at some point. I wish it was 2 players, but I understand like why that wouldn't necessarily work. So if you like God of War, it's not like necessarily a waste of your time, but it's not like a must-play game. So that's God of War, Sons of Sparta. It was okay. The end.
Call that 30 seconds. Well, speaking of a big, angry, violent guy with a spear, we saw Primal Season 3. I can segue sometimes.
Did you watch Primal? Okay.
So the show, everybody was happy enough with the 2 seasons. Nobody asked for a third. We get a third, and how do you do it when Spear's been covered in lava and put down or not put out of his misery, but succumbs to his injuries? You bring him back as a zombie. I love this season because I think it was very funny. Like, there's some funny stuff in the other seasons, but this is the funniest out of all of them. Just seeing, like, dumb zombie trying to kind of regain his memories and his humanity. And just little things of, like, him following a bug and enjoying that bug. And then little cave guys kill his bug. And now he's got to kill all those little cave guys. And it's, like, just simple concepts done in really simple animation beautifully. And by the end, I was happy where it ended off. A little bit of retconning that I'm fine with. And I think I'm okay for us to be done. Because I know he's done with Spear and Fang, and he doesn't want to continue with his daughter. But he wants to maybe make an anthology series of different characters in this time period. And I'm okay with that. But I'm happy that Spear and Fang have their happy ending, and we're done with it. What do you guys think?
I'll let Nick go.
Okay. Oh, he's got some hot takes.
Not really. I mean, it's no secret. I've talked to you about it before. I didn't think the series needed to continue after season 2. And when I first heard like the basic premise of season 3, I was just kind of like, are we just doing this because the first 2 seasons did pretty well and like viewership?
Felt like a contract thing. Like, well, you've promised us 3 seasons, so figure it out.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I also think Samurai Jack went on a little too long, but I would say that show in comparison, I'm only comparing the two because they're so different, because it's the same creator. Uh, I would say that show made more sense to continue on, and I understood when they came back with that final season, even a decade later.
Definitely had more story.
Yeah,
with that.
more so than them saying, "Let's squeeze out another Primal."
Mm.
That being said, I still enjoyed this whole season. I liked everything in it. I fucking teared up when I fought when like Fang finally allowed Spear to like sleep with him,
I
and
know.
everybody and the whole family got together at the end. I was just like, "Yeah, God."
Because Fang was not having it this
No,
entire
the whole
season.
season, like, I don't care if you're the same person. I don't care.
You're a dead, rotting corpse.
You smell fucking terrible,
Get
bro.
away.
Yeah, so when they all finally like got the end, that was just beautiful.
Not how I truly expected them to just kill him off more in a finite way, where he would be blown into smithereens and there's no bringing him back. It's like, no, we're doing the opposite. We're unkilling him.
Yeah, and like he's growing back to life almost.
Yeah.
Because of black goo. You want to know how it works? Don't worry about it.
Did you question in Prometheus? Sure. But
it's the same black goo from Prometheus.
It's primordial goo.
I really liked it. If they do more, of course I'll watch it. I'll watch anything this guy does.
Yeah.
Even fucking Fixed. And that was the worst fucking thing
I can't believe
ever.
that's the same guy.
Yeah, I mean, good stuff. Enjoyed it. The end really got me.
So for me, for season 3, I just thought, like, altogether, it was fine. And I don't mean it was fine and just, like, everything was just kind of, like, mediocre. It just didn't connect with me the same way as previous seasons. I mean, obviously, still, the animation is beautiful, and all the action is great. It's just, I think, for me, like what made the first 2 seasons of Primal that me enjoy it more was the relationship between Spear and Fang, which we don't really have this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think they try and like give you a little bit with like Fang as now a mother with another mother who's like their relationship has grown now that Spear is in their mind dead, and
Mm-hmm.
and so now it becomes this like dinosaur protector of this town. But like I don't know, I wanted those two together sooner, and also, obviously it's more of the same in terms of like there's an episode where he fights this thing, and then here's another episode where he fights a different thing, and at a certain point, like after the first like 3 or 4 episodes, like I took long breaks. The only reason I finished this season, I think, is because you said please finish Primal, and I was like halfway through, so I just kind of powered through the last 5. And like the 2 or 3 episode arc of it's like the pig things coming, and like I didn't care about that at all.
That was like, okay, we're done with the pigs.
It's just like, oh well, one episode he's surrounded by lions, and then there's a mega lion, and then here's all these like killer warthogs. Oh, there's a mega warthog. I just didn't care anymore. And like I like all the weird stuff that they don't explain on how like there's some people that are like Scottish based. In this previous season there was like the giant ship that was like a 3 episode arc thing with Mira and like all that I thought was kind of interesting, and there was like castles, but also there's dinosaurs. Like I like how weird the world is, and that black primordial goo, I also agree. I don't care that it like brings it back from the dead. It's a whole weird fucking world. Like that doesn't bother me in the slightest. I will say that when it got to the final episode and they were like turning into like the mega monsters, like this is kind of fucking stupid. But man, when he hopped back on his Fang's back and the lava blew up behind him like it was fucking super violent Little Mermaid shot, I was like, this is fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, finally.
But it was just like for me a little too late. I'm glad they got that happy ending.
I got worried when, like, I knew they weren't going to kill any of them because we know at the end of season 2, the kid dinosaurs are alive, Fang's alive, Mira's alive. But then when they were forcing them all to have the black goo, I was just like, oh no! I was like getting worried
I thought
for
some
them.
of them were gonna die. Yeah. And when especially in that final episode, they were like throwing that baby around and stuff, and I was like, if this baby dies, I'm gonna flip the fuck out. And I know it's just like the new parent in me, but I was just like, I don't like that this baby's getting hurt. Oh, and the baby gets cut in the forehead. I'm just like, don't hurt that fucking baby, Jesus Christ. But
I kind of felt the same as a cat.
Yeah, there you go. So it was. I didn't need this season. I don't need more seasons. I think even season 2, like I don't really remember season 1 and 2 all that well. I remember liking them, but at least in season 2 there was that episode where it was like took place in modern
the paleontologist.
yeah, like that episode was kind of fun because it was such like a out there like special episode.
I think that's like the lowest rated one on IMDb, which is ridiculous.
But I kind of wish like maybe there was at least one episode of that to sort of like pull me in halfway through the season.
Okay.
I don't know I don't have a pitch or anything like that.
Go even further in the future.
I thought like maybe there'd be a Samurai Jack tie-in in some way. But no. I'm not saying I wanted that. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that.
Ties it in the fixed.
Or like, like
he's... Ku comes through and pulls out monsters for Jack to fight. And
when he's fighting in the pit, like, you had all these different warriors. They could have easily had someone that looked like Samurai Jack,
That, or like you got those, that black and white episode, what I'm talking about with Samurai Jack? The archer dudes from Samurai Jack. Those guys were cool. Anyway, so yeah. It was fine, but it didn't... I basically forced myself to finish it because of you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Steve.
I didn't hate it. It was fine.
Every time I watch an episode, it just made me want to play a video game of this so bad.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely play a video game of this.
Just give me, with Aloy?
Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Get rid of all the metal dinosaurs, put real dinosaurs in there, and just, give me a caveman.
No, honestly, I'd see it be more like a
Ghost of Yote?
No, I'm saying something like a Sons of Sparta game, or like something like more like
2D. Yeah, I don't want that now.
Or like a side-scrolling thing where you're fighting monsters and you can hop on Fang for special moves and stuff, or like your buddy plays Fang and you play Spear. Like I can see it being like that kind of game.
Yeah.
But like it would have to be. I think it could only exist like that. You can do it right because that's too realistic. It needs to exist in this sort of like animation form.
I don't think it needs to be a Primal game. I want to play as a caveman fucking up weird monsters.
Oh, okay.
I want that game. I want to ride dinosaurs, and like Aloy, she can change them into mounts, and that's what I was thinking. Like, do you want the T-Rex, or do you want a weird octopus monster, or the pterodactyl, or...
Oh, then just play Horizon Zero Dawn.
No thank you.
Okay, moving on.
All right, so we both finished the newest season of One Piece. Has it been 2 years since it came out?
Yes.
Wow. Time flies. But close your ears, Nick.
I've watched the first... I still have 3 left. So, I mean...
We won't get super spoilery on this.
No, yeah.
But, so yeah, I mean, like, we kind of pick up with the gang...
Pretty much right after.
What are they called?
The Straw Hat Pirates.
The Straw Hat Pirates. Yeah. This is a show where, like, I don't care to learn anyone's names. I don't want to know history. I don't care how accurate it is. I just want to, like, enjoy, and I think, Nick, you put it the best way, like, expensive garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what this show is. It looks so great and so terrible at the same time. Everybody is so stupid looking. The character designs are awful, but I love looking at them because there's such a big swing. You got a weird assassin with the number 3 on his head who spits like wax. Yeah, it's so stupid. I hate it so much.
I can't stop.
But watching. I can't stop watching it. Like I did it in like 2-3 days. I just plowed through them. They're long ass episodes, but it's just there's something about this cast that I like so much.
Yeah.
And I know, like, comparing them to their anime versions, like, this casting is unbelievable. Everybody looks so good. I know some people will probably be a little pissy about some of these new characters, but, like, I don't care. I have a great time watching this.
Yeah, you and I have not seen the show.
Nope,
or read the
gonna.
manga.
Never gonna.
Never gonna.
Never gonna.
I'm not watching anything with 1,000 episodes.
Nope.
I'm not reading something...
And multiple movies.
Even, like, because I watched the show, I've gone on YouTube and watched, like, highlight clips of stuff. I'm like, none of these, like, all-time great moments are things to... And, I mean, obviously, like, context is everything, and if I watch it, maybe be like, oh, yeah, this is fucking awesome. But, like... all these like great fight moments, I'm like, this just seems kind of like okay. But anyway, but yeah, I struggle with the show because there's so much of it I don't think is good at all. But I think the one thing it's got going for it is it's sort of like sincerity and charm that just like kind of supersedes that. Because there's sometimes where like I'm looking at these like the sets and I'm like, wow, this set looks great. And then other times I'm just like, man, this looks like a set. And then like the action is pretty solid. But other times with like in the final episode when they have this big battle, it just all looked like kind of cheap in a lot of ways. And like the special effects
sometimes. There was a final battle in the last episode. God damn it. I said
and there's times where like the special effects, some of it looks pretty solid, and other times like this looks dumb.
Yeah, like when Luffy has to use his neck to catch someone falling off a mountain.
Yeah, like obviously like the stretch stuff is always going to look the worst, and that's just a problem with any stretching
thing. Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Gum neck squish.
But like, yeah, the closest thing I can compare the show to, I think, is probably like Scott Pilgrim, that it's this really ridiculous world, but it like takes itself like not seriously, but like it leans into it, so you don't like really question it. But I like the cast. I think Luffy's my least favorite character by far.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
No, I mean, I like him. I think he's doing a good job playing that character. I just think like that type of character is kind of annoying to me.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
No, fuck that guy. But I really like this actor playing this character.
Zoro is very one note, but I like his delivery of like when he has comedy moments. I think he really sells it. Nami, I think, is probably... actually, Usopp really came up this season. Yeah. I like Usopp a lot. Yeah. And Nami's pretty solid as like the straight man to all these like goofballs. But if there's one character I cut, it's Luffy. He's just doing like, I know he's the hero and the main character.
The captain.
Yeah. But in terms of like, maybe he gets better as the series goes along, but in terms of his character of just being so annoyingly... and I like happy characters, but just... his
optimism.
It's a little like annoying.
Yeah, when he screams at the top of his lungs and throws his hands up, it seems like a scene where everybody would look at each other like, he's at it again. But they all love it.
Yeah. And for me also, the character designs obviously all pulled straight from the comics, and I think once again, it's one of those things. It's like there's times they look great, and other times it just seems like cheap cosplay.
Yeah, which like the guy with the metal jaw. I fucking hate that guy.
I thought they did a pretty good job with that.
No, especially with all of his moving, it works good. But it's just like you were so fucking ugly. I hate your character design.
And like I think that's another reason that turned me off from watching the show. It's just like everyone looks stupid here. But I like that they don't like shy away from it in the same way. So it's just a show I really struggle with because it's not a show that I'd say like, Mom, Dad, you gotta watch it. Like this is not a show for everyone.
I don't even want to admit that I've seen the show.
I don't even know if this is a show for like
one what? Two piece?
Yeah, I don't even know how to grade this show because like I have enjoyed it, not knowing much of the source material. A lot of it's so bad.
Yeah.
But it's still a good time.
Yeah.
So,
and I know it's for fans, but they'll like do things like reveal a character's name and be so like, well, isn't that right? So and so, like dun dun dun. And I'm just sitting there like, who? Don't call me that name. Like, okay, I won't. I don't even know any of your characters' names. You're all named after a day of the week or a number. I think my problem with this season story is it feels like you got the Marines and the assassins and they're on their tail and they're gonna get them. And then even though they're connected, we kind of stop to deal with this metal jaw guy and then his, usurping and stuff. And yes, they are all connected, but it feels like we abandon the Marines in most of the episodes and they barely show up at the end. And so I wish there was a little more like unison amongst everything. But that's like my only real complaint, besides being annoying and stupid and ugly.
Yeah.
And cringy
and awful.
We hate. So the big thing, I guess, of this season is Tony Chopper.
Which
gets his own episode. That's not a spoiler, Nick, I guess. I liked Chopper. I think it was a good use of like his CGI looked really good, and then the the physical thing that we see. I think that looks really good.
It's the in-between that I don't like. When he's running as a deer, I think looks not so great.
Sure.
I didn't know he was a reindeer. I always assumed that was a little bear.
But I think all of that stuff worked pretty well. I liked his backstory. Although, and maybe they explain it, but it did that thing of just like, oh, how did this character get its name? And they kind of explain it. And it's, do you remember this? He finds, the doctor finds Chopper, and it's like, oh, I'm going to call you Chopper. And it's like, why are you calling me Chopper? Because it looks like your antlers could chop down a tree. Tony Chopper. And it's like,
where'd the Tony come from?
And they don't explain it. I was like, wait, what? It does.
I didn't catch that.
Like I said, okay, maybe it was explained or there's something, but it just seems like you named a Chopper. Okay, that's cute. That makes sense. And then you threw in another name. I was like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
And then no one brought it up again. It drove me fucking nuts.
That seems like it's something like his name would be. Like, it would start with Tony, but it'd be really long, and he's trying to tell him, and he's stuttering, and he's like, Tony, and then he thinks his name is Tony.
Yeah.
And then I don't know about the Chopper thing. But
whatever.
Yeah, this is a show that, even though you should pay attention because of all the money that went into the things you're looking at, this is like the perfect show for me to like play Angry Birds while I'm watching. It's like, I don't need to look at it. I don't need to pay attention, but I'm still having a good time.
Yeah, I'll keep watching the show. And obviously they had a bigger budget this season, I think.
Yeah.
But
which is weird. At times, like when they're on the dinosaur island, it's like, look at these giants and these dinosaurs. Look at all these cool special effects. And then they're like, look at this man-eating plant. And it looks like a pillow, and it like can't even move. Like, that looks like shit. It's like they really have to pick and choose.
I'll say
sometimes.
all the giant stuff I thought looked pretty great.
Yeah.
I liked all the giant stuff.
Yeah.
But
I hate all those assassin people. They annoy the fucking man. Like, they have cool powers of like I can
booger bombs.
Yeah, booger bombs and like static cling hair. Like you could change your weight, and it's like I could float, and then like. There's some really interesting stuff. But
she was a human Kirby.
Yeah. Yeah, she really was. But then, like, here's David Dastmalchian, like, looking so incredibly ugly with such a stupid power.
I love him, though. Like, it doesn't even bother me at all.
And I love that, like, his rise to fame happened pretty quick, and now he's able to just kind of do whatever dumb, weird shit he wants. And
he was doing a bunch of dumb, weird shit before.
But we, like, applauded him for it. He didn't have to, like, go the DiCaprio way and become... Harold is a great actor. Like, he's always been kind of a weird little guy, and now he's able to do it even more. So I like him.
Yeah. So weirdly enough, One Piece season 2.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Yeah. Even though like it's not good, but it is. Yeah. It's so weird to describe.
I could suggest it to people who watch anime and maybe haven't watched the adaptation, but I would never recommend this to anyone.
Yeah. I mean. I don't know if you saw this, but apparently it's now, I think it's like, it's beaten Batman or Spider-Man. Like, it's now the highest selling comic book of all time. Like,
wow.
Beating the titans of comics that have been around for 70 fucking years.
Damn.
One Piece is the biggest comic, sales-wise, of all time.
Good for them.
So that's pretty impressive.
And I gotta applaud a guy who, like, he has this idea. It's not just 3 pirates and they go and find the treasure and it's done. He has 1 million characters with a ton of different stories. And like, well, I don't want him to just go to one island. I want 1 million items, and I want islands, and I want tons of different powers, and everybody's got a backstory. Like, I applaud you for, getting it all out there. I just am not gonna like watch any of it or read any of it.
Yeah, I mean, to be writing the same comic since like 1997 is crazy.
Yeah. And then you look at George R.R. Martin writing the same story since the 90s and can't get shit out. This guy's put thousands of issues out. Well, cool. Well, we'll talk about this in
another year or two.
28. Main topic, right? We got nothing else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Project Hail Mary. Based off the book by Peter Weir?
Andy
Weir. Written and directed by Lord M. Miller, who did Spider-Verse, Clone High.
22 Jump Street. Not 21. They did 21.
Solo. Well, at least they started Solo, and then it got taken over
by
Ron Howard. weird guys who do weird things, but everything they do is pretty great. And this is no exception. Steve, you want to give us a quick rundown?
Sure. Our sun is slowly dimming, and we don't know why. So the world's governments have united and uh, take Ryan Gosling, who is a high school teacher, former scientist, and say, "Hey, we need your help saving the planet." And so, through a series of unfortunate events, he ends up in space, and he is now the one person in the entire universe who can, or seemingly the only person in the entire universe, who can save planet Earth before the sun dims enough to put us into an ice age and causes the human extinction.
But it won't happen for 30 years.
For 30
We're good. We're fine.
That was pretty much it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple story that is just like stretched out with. We're not going to just give you one line of "Eureka, I have it," and then they do the thing. Like they're gonna work through it, and you're gonna be there with them the whole time. And maybe make a friend on the way. So this was in my predictions of being one of the biggest bombs of the year. I just
had very little faith in this movie.
I'm not good at predictions. My choices are always pretty bad. No, I didn't have faith in it. I just didn't see people caring. But my theater was practically sold out. Front row seating and
Same
everything. I'm glad I love sitting in the handicap spots because that's where the only spots available. And, definitely what is known as like a 4-quadrant movie of old and young men and women. It hits it could appeal to everyone.
It's a real crowd pleaser.
And my crowd had a variety of little old ladies and little boys.
Before COVID, this could have been a solid summer blockbuster.
Oh yeah. Strange that it's a March release, but sometimes you gotta put something big in the middle of all the littler stuff. You put this up against Super Mario Brothers and Star Wars. Maybe no one's gonna give a shit. So this is like our first big movie of the year. I'll just go with my rating off the bat, giving it a B+.
Okay.
I enjoyed this movie. I have 2 gripes about it, which we'll get into. But I don't think I'd ever watch this again. I think this is a one and done. Don't need to own it. I enjoyed it, but I think I like The Martian better. Steve, what do you think?
Well, as we talked about on previous weeks, I finished this book about a month and a half ago or so, and it's in my top 10 books of all time. I love this book, this was the closest I've ever had a source material to straight watching the movie in proximity to each other before. So it's the book is fresh in my mind, and I think that did a disservice to the movie. I also would give this movie a B+. I had a good time. I laughed. I enjoyed the relationship between these 2 characters. And any gripes with it I see why they existed, but I kind of wish certain things from the book weren't tossed aside, because I think they add a lot of, layers to the story and stakes and sort of the nuances of their relationship and all that kind of stuff. There is absolutely really nothing wrong with this movie. I had a good time. We'll get into the nitty gritty of stuff in a minute, but all in all, I really enjoyed it. And it's a movie I would recommend to people. I think,
unlike One Piece, you can recommend this to anybody.
I'm not embarrassed by this movie. It's a perfectly good film. Ryan Gosling's really good. He's on a tear these past few years. I mean, he's always been great.
Yeah, he doesn't really release stinkers. Except, The Fall Guy wasn't very good. But
he wasn't the reason that movie wasn't great.
No, but still made some money, and some people liked it.
So yeah, I am glad Phil Lord and Chris Miller are still making good shit.
Yeah.
And then I'll pass it over to Nick, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay,
cool.
So,
Nick,
what'd you think?
You also read this book in even less time than Steve did. Yeah. Or at least finished it from...
I finished this book the night before. So it could not have been any fresher in my mind. I really like this movie. I think what Steve was saying, I mostly agree with. Like, I totally understand why things were cut. I totally understand why things were kind of like fast tracked. Uh, why we only got like the surface level of like certain problems being solved and stuff. Because there's times where I was reading the book where it's just like, okay, just explain it to me in layman's terms. Because what? I've been out of school a long time, and I can see your general audiences just being like, huh? So I totally get that. I'm very curious to see the things that you, Steve, think were cut and that you would have liked to see. So I'll wait till we get to that topic. But overall, I really like this movie. I would watch this movie again, even though it's really long. But could see like I could see like if you didn't read the book and you just like it's so hard. Like I almost wish I saw this movie without reading the book, and then I read the book, and then I went back. But then I
should
also
always
know,
do book second.
But I also know that I would never do that.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna go back and read a 500-page book after I already know how it mostly ends.
Yeah. Unless it's your favorite movie of all time, I understand.
Yeah, so I mean, the way I did it is the only way that I, as a person, could have done it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really hard for me to rate this movie without thinking of the movie or without thinking of the book. But if I do, I still really like it, and I still totally understand why things were shaved down, cut out, this or that. That being said, there are a handful of things I would have liked to see for sure.
All right, cool. Steve, since you're the expert in the book, I know
honestly, Nick's probably more the expert than me.
Nah, it's you, Steve. Is there more about building the actual ship?
Kind of, not really.
Okay, because in the movie, it's just like you could make a ship that could go faster than speed of light. Like, yeah, don't worry about that. We did it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more discussion about like the building of the ship. You never really like see much of it by any means. It's kind of just like, well, how are we going to solve this problem? And then they meet with a scientist who's just like, well, if we do this, we can eliminate this, and that will leave room for this, so then it can do this. So it does explain like how the ship functions and the different things they're doing to make the things that they're doing possible. Because in the movie, they don't really explain the ship at all. It just says, oh, it's running on astrophage. It's going to get you there, light speed, and then problem solved. But there is more to the building of the ship, and then like discussing what problems they might have if the ship's designed this way, and then they just get another scientist to explain like, okay, we solved that problem through this. Okay.
You were talking about it when you finished the book, a scene about them building something in the Sahara Desert,
yes,
and it would leave Africa as a superpower, and this global conflict behind all that. That's one of the things, like, one of the only informational things from the book I knew going in, and I felt there was a lack of the global presence.
This is my big problem with the movie. And not even a problem. I get why it's gone. It's like, because it's not essential to me, because the movie and the book is about the relationship between Rocky and
Grace.
Which
I don't like his last name being Grace. I know this is sexist of me, but Grace is a woman's name and he's a guy, and I know it's his last name, but I wish it was more gender neutral.
Maybe you guys caught this. I didn't. After this movie was over, I went to the movies, Reddit, and because I always like to see what other people think and what they liked and what they didn't like. And I never caught it, but it's Hail Mary, full of grace.
Oh, no, I did not.
I feel so dumb. That's like a Steve joke that I would have written into a book.
I think even when he says like, oh, what's the name of your mate to Rocky? And he calls her Adrian. If they didn't like punctuate it as a, well, duh, we got to give Rocky's wife a name Adrian, I wouldn't have even caught that.
Yeah, well, that's in the book too. But anyway, so if there's one thing I would add to this movie, it is like how much of the world's interaction with, like, not only is the world coming together to build the ship, the world is coming together to like buy themselves time from human extinction and all the stuff like that. I thought was just as like inspiring as like this mission itself was like they put aside all wars like now they still mention like and they do in the movie where like when the food like is getting low we're gonna hope that we're all gonna share it but we know we're not because we know how humans are and like that's really devastating but all the stuff before that point is just like we're gonna work together until we can't anymore and like the amount of like money and grandeur of things that they're doing of just like decimating the world to buy themselves time. It's like killing like the ecosystems and killing, you know, maybe millions to save billions. And like the decisions that she has to make doing that and how much it weighs on her and also her relationship with Grace and all that stuff like is all really good stuff in the book that they just kind of like toss aside. Which like once again I see why they did it and now it's not essential but like those could be such great scenes to just like punctuate like how important this mission is and like what's at stake and just like because the movie's a fun crowd pleaser and maybe those scenes would kind of like bum everybody out but like that's why it's so important.
But it's also already 2.5 hours long and if we were doing the Project Hail Mary TV show we got room for that sort of stuff but I think in the movie they're like well you got for your other astronaut people, you got a Russian, you got a Chinese, and there's a black guy at the table. There you go. There's the world for you.
Well, so in the books, like all that, like there's some. It's not important. There were relationships and stuff, but like there's a scene where in the movie they kind of like brushed it off, like oh yeah, we know we're gonna die, but like Ryland's the person who has to talk to them and go like hey. He like sits down with them individually and goes, "How do you guys want to die?" And like they tell him, "Like, oh, I'd like to die by a gun to the head," and oh, I want to die by like nitrogen gas after I like drink like a ton of vodka. That's why the Russian chick had vodka, because she was gonna get blackout drunk and kill herself. And like those discussions.
She wanted heroin.
Oh, heroin. That's what it was. Yeah. Like that's how like that like the idea of just like oh. Why am I having this conversation? And Strat is like, well, you're good with people. Like, he's with Strat all the time. It doesn't even occur to him, like, he's basically like the number 2 on this project, even though that there's people who are all over the world who are working this thing.
That was what I was thinking the whole time. Like, okay, we haven't gotten to the reveal of him having to go on it. They've shown the people who are going to go on this, like, oh, shit. They're going to fucking force this guy, aren't they? And I love that they do. You know, they're not like, well, we're going to do the honorable thing. Like, you're going to get on that fucking ship even if we have to drug you. I love that.
And what the book does is, like, he's kind of remembering these things as a story. So, like, the whole book is going back and forth and, like, flashbacks, but it's like he's remembering them at this moment in the journey. And I don't think the movie necessarily, like, shows that. It's just kind of going, like, this is what happens. It could have seemed like 10 minutes after he woke up, he remembered everything. But he's kind of remembered as he goes. So like, you know, when Rocky's telling him like, oh man, you're so brave, like the reveal is just like, I just remembered I'm a fucking coward. Like that stuff like hits really hard. And I think the movie handled it pretty well, but it's just, I don't think it translated that as well.
So what was the thing they were building in the desert that was so important?
So
solar panel, you said?
That's the easiest way to describe it. So in order for them to breed, basically they made an astrophage farm because they needed so much, and they could only make a couple at a time in the lab. They're like, well, how do we get 2 million? And it's like, okay, well, if we cover 40% of the Sahara Desert in these solar panels, we can make this breeding farm and then get them done in like 2 years versus like 100 years or however long it would take. And then through that, they basically had like unlimited energy that now all of Africa has control of.
Because it seemed like they were able to just make it on that boat. Like we got to make a bunch. Don't worry, we got it.
And like another scene I really loved, which I don't remember if I told you about, it's like they were putting nukes in the polar ice caps to like melt them in order to release gas that would like add a layer of like ozone to like keep our planet at the right temperature versus like cooling down, like all that stuff that like we're destroying our planet to buy us time to save our planet. And it's like all that stuff's like really, really awesome and interesting and just like awful that people like would have to make that decision, but you're glad they're doing it because you never see the like human cost of it. You just know that there is one. So I kind of wish I saw some of that.
Yeah.
This movie is like 2 hours 16. I think it should have been 2:26. Just give me 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm okay with some of that being cut out because, and I've said it before, science fiction doesn't hit as hard anymore when it's an asteroid's coming to destroy the Earth. The leaders of all the countries band together to save us. that is the most sci-fi thing of all time because just 5 years ago we had a world-ending plague killing everybody, and could we all come together and solve a thing? No. Not even people within our own government. And you think the entire government is going to nuke ice caps and give superpower to Africa to send 3 people to maybe, to not even solve the problem, just figure out, maybe figure out what's the problem and hopefully send back an answer. Never gonna fucking happen. Absolutely not. Like, we're in conflict right now that they're talking about, like, we're gonna be in a nuclear war just over fucking oil. You know, there's no way we're gonna try to save the sun. So I'm okay with leading some of that out and make it a little more hopeful. But yeah.
I think there's some slight nuances to that argument, but I get what you're saying. It's very easy to be pessimistic about that kind of thing through
when you live in the real world,
our human track record. But anyway, so that's all the stuff that like was kind of missed. But in terms of the movie, all the space stuff, I wish some of the shots lingered a little bit longer. Like obviously the big scene is like the astrophage pink scene, which I thought was really well done and beautiful, and the shot of that
the planet.
The planet was cool. Rocky, I think, looked great. Looked very real to me.
They better be making some articulated toys on that fucker.
That'd be a cool thing to put on like on your desk.
Yeah, it can grip around different.
It's like
things.
Has a paperweight that just like pops out.
Yeah,
like a
absolutely.
Like Bakugan.
Yeah, you got one because I know there was a popcorn bucket that.
Bought it.
Yeah. Is that the one?
Beat an old lady with a stick. Get the fuck out of the way! It's the last one. It's my Rocky.
I liked all their interactions. I think the emotional stuff didn't hit me as much as I wanted it to, but I think it all worked. With him going like, telling him that he's brave and like them hugging and all that stuff. I think my favorite moment was him finding out Rocky had a mate and they've been together for like 130 some years. Like, that's a long time, Rocky. He's just like, not long enough. I was like, oh, look at this little rock person making me feel things. Look at you, buddy.
Yeah, when he had to like break out of his bubble to save Grace and all that black smoke is piling out, I'm like, don't kill this fucking little guy.
Yeah, so that's actually a bigger part in the book. Like, there's black smoke expending to him, and so like Grace is trying to like do science to figure out like, oh, he must have like the stuff in him. I got to blow it out of there. And then Rocky's like, dude, like after Rocky like comes to, he's like, you almost fucking killed me. It's like, what do you mean? I was getting all that bad stuff. I was like, no, that's my body like trying to protect me. And so
like it's releasing atmosphere. So
I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but it was basically like that black stuff is just like, it's like kind of like, I guess, like the scab healing you over, and it's just like me expelling it. It's just like me getting rid of the stuff that's healing me. You blowing all that out, it's like you basically like rip my scab off, and now there's nothing like healing me.
Damn.
That's the easiest way for me to explain it.
Okay.
There's just like a bunch of those little moments where like this moment lasted a little bit longer. There's so much science in the book that like, do you understand it? No, but him explaining it is super interesting. Okay. And you just don't have any of that in this movie. It's just like, oh, here's this problem. I'm doing science, and now the problem's solved. So once again, for pacing issues, for audience simplicity and all that stuff I don't mind being cut because it really doesn't matter. But it was kind of like the fun of the book. The only stuff I really mostly wanted to see was like the world stuff that they were dealing with. But I'll let Nick talk because I've been talking for a while.
Well, I got another question.
Okay.
So he wakes up and the other 2 astronauts are already dead. Why? Like, I feel like they would need to still be alive to help pilot the ship and do all the things they need to get the answers. It seems like they blasted off and went, well, we'll get there eventually. And they killed themselves. Did they kill themselves, or did they? No. They died in travel.
They died in transit.
So the world did all this shit of destroying the world, and 2 of the 3 people died. Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
So
I wish they explained that more, because seeing the vodka and then her saying, "I want to like drink the vodka and do the heroin and stuff." It's like, damn, did they kill themselves and not even wake this dude up?
So I don't remember how well it is explained in the book, because that's obviously like the book opens, the first chapter is them pretty much finding their dead bodies and going like, where the fuck am I, kind of thing. And so basically I think this is obviously like no human has ever traveled like 11 years the speed of light in a medical induced coma. So like they weren't quite sure if they were going to survive anyway. So it just happened. He just happened to be lucky enough to survive. It wasn't that his body was better, that he had some special gene. It was just like for whatever reason, the state that they like were locked in, they just didn't survive it. It was just mostly pure luck that he got there at all.
Damn.
There was no like malfunction or anything like that. It was just that it just so happened their bodies did survive the trip, and he was the only one. Yeah. So there you go.
All right, here's my two main things that I didn't like about this. I thought it was too funny. And I mean, too many jokes that aren't funny. I think just some of the like, oh gosh, look how dorky I am stuff didn't land with me. Some of the Rocky misunderstanding stuff didn't quite work. I think I didn't laugh as hard as my audience, but that's a personal thing.
Yeah.
And I don't like the ending. I don't like him. I really think it should have ended. They get the germ or whatever. They get the predator. They go their own ways. He gives them enough fuel, and he's able to get back home. And like I was perfectly happy with that. But then he's got to save them, and then he's living on their planet, and then he's teaching all the rock babies stuff. Like I thought I did not enjoy that. It's fine, and it's a big swing, and I appreciate something really, really weird. But I just felt like you could cut this movie down and give a happy ending for both of them. And maybe that's just me, but if I was the studio head, I probably would have said we could shave minutes and dollars off this, change that ending. I was not a fan of it.
I disagree. I like the ending. So I mean, I hate to keep just going like in the book.
That's fine. That's what I mean saying stuff.
But one fun thing is, and obviously this didn't need to be in the movie, but he gets to that planet and it's not like they have food there for him. They're rock people. Like, what the fuck is he going to eat? There's no, like,
hey, they can make spaceships and stuff. They can figure it out.
But they do figure it out. So, he was there for a while and quickly became, like, gaunt and stuff and, like, was in a terrible shape. So they genetically took a piece of him and engineered meat burger. So he ate human meat basically of himself.
Damn.
That they like cloned. And so he's like, I ate a ton of burgers and I got tired of eating, but it turns out human meat pretty tasty. And that sort of like got him back to like normal.
Okay.
I love that he calls them me burgers.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he ate all the stuff on his own ship.
Yeah. I mean, he only had like the stuff for him and then 2 other people.
Yeah.
But eventually,
he even said like, I can make this last like 2 more years.
I don't know if it's as long in the book.
Okay.
But even so, like at a certain point, he needed something else so they genetically engineered.
He had a few months of food supplies, and then it was going to be a few years of coma slurry, which tastes garbage, and he doesn't want to taste it. So it's like, how long can I deal with that until I go and put myself in a coma?
Okay.
But and the movie like kind of hints at it, but mentioning like he doesn't have family. There was like. He liked being a teacher. That's, why he wanted to be with those kids before he was forced on this mission. And it's like, yeah, he could go back, but like, to what world would he go back to? Like, he knows that the human race exists because the aliens say like, oh, by the way, we used our telescope or whatever, and we saw like that your planet, your sun got brighter. So like, they were able to like use that technology within like 2 years or whatever to, restart the sun
real fast,
pretty quickly.
I feel like introducing alien amoebas into our atmosphere or whatever is probably going to have some weird effects on us, but do they even go into that?
No, they don't go into our atmosphere. It goes to the sun, and then it kills all the stuff around the sun.
Oh, okay.
And the sun can be bright again. So it doesn't affect anything on Earth. So just kind of like, and he, at this point, he's not like young, hot Ryan Gosling. I think like 10, 15 years, like he's now like in his 50s. It's like,
the gravity is,
it's just like he's like, yeah, and he's kind of like, maybe one day I'll go back, but right now I'm happy where I'm at, and it's just like teaching again, and so like, and then it ends with him teaching like the little rock kids,
Because he does mention like they don't even understand some of the physics and stuff that we have learned.
Yeah, so. But that was a big thing. Is like he gave Rocky that computer to take back to, and like here's all of human knowledge.
Now they're going to come and invade us.
Well, see, and that's the thing I like about it though, is because like the entire book, you're kind of always waiting, like, all right, what's the twist? Of, like, this guy's really going to trust this alien with all of our technology, and they can come and do whatever? But it's just like it never computes to him or Rocky, like, oh, we're bad people, or like I need to worry about you, or you need to worry about me. It was never. It's like we're two people who are trying to save our races. Like we should exchange information, and it's never brought up like, oh, I'm worried about this thing. Like at the beginning when he's like making the joke of like chest bursters and stuff, like that makes sense. But once he realized like, no, Rocky's doing the same thing I am, like let's work together, and then like their instant friendship is like super fun.
Did like Rocky Vision. That was a good effect.
Yeah, the Rocky Vision was good.
This movie is visually so beautiful, and
Agreed.
Every little bit of light and flares, and it does a really good job of like match cutting certain things. Of like it'll be just like a shot of his foot on the aircraft carrier, and then it'll cut to a shot of his foot on the spaceship, and like the editing is really good in this.
I think there was a lot of fun shots with like with the
tilting,
camera like tilts because it kind of you're on the space station that's got. Oh God! Hold on, Steve. Something got coming. You're on the space station, and the whole thing is those are constantly rotating. So when it like cuts back to Earth and does a fun camera rotation thing, I liked all that stuff. So it never really felt like you left the space station, even in flashbacks. So I thought some of that was fun camera work. I'll let Nick talk because I keep talking. Nick, what do you got? Throw some things in there.
Well, I mean, I'll say you touched on one thing. One of my like things that I've most missed from the book was there's like a whole chapter where they meet up with somebody who has spent their entire life, dedicated their whole life to like climate change, and now they're asking him, "Hey, help us blow up all these ice caps and release the hydrogen inside of these ice caps to buy the Earth some time." And like, again, Steve already touched on this. There's a lot of that stuff of like seeing how the world came together. I mean, like Strat is such a big character in this book. Like she is given the keys to the kingdom of this entire, like the whole world. Like everybody like listens to what she says. She is just given total authority. There's a scene where she like is dealing with like a court system where people are like trying to sue her and her like affiliates.
That's a fun scene
for like doing stuff, and she's like, "I'm only here as a courtesy. I supersede all of you because I'm trying to save the Earth. So go fuck yourself." Pretty much. Like I love that whole like she's such a small part of this movie, and she's such a big part of this book. And Steve also touched on like their relationship. Like they have a lot of good back and forth.
Never romantic or sexual, but just like
at all. I mean, did we need her singing Harry Styles? No.
Was that in the book?
No.
Okay.
Oh cut that whole thing out and give us a little bit.
It's to show she's a person,
Sure, but you cut that stuff out and give us a little bit more depth on like how they kind of tricked him into having to go onto this ship. Because even like what Steve was saying, there's even more to it. It's like they force him after he's like, "I'm not doing this. I don't want to die. I have like kids." And she's like, "You don't care about these kids. You're a coward. You just don't want to die." He's like, "You're right. I don't want to die. I don't want to do this." And then they just in the like same as the movie, but they force him. And there's Yao, who's supposed to be on the mission with him, is like, "I don't want him going on the ship if he doesn't volunteer." So to trick like the two that end up dying, they force him into the coma. They give him a specific drug that's gonna like make him have amnesia where the other two wouldn't have that. It's like a torture drug that Russians use, so that he will specifically not remember all of this stuff. And like, of course I'm not going to put all that in this movie. This movie's got to appeal to 8-year-olds. Like there's so much really darker, serious stuff in the book. But again, like that's any book you read that gets turned into a movie there's stuff that's going to get left by the wayside. But that's something I really like. I was really hoping for that Antarctica scene because like in my mind I was really picturing them setting off these nukes and like doing all this and like seeing this guy struggle with I spent my whole life trying to save our environment, and now you're asking me just to buy us some time to make global warming worse. Really interesting concept.
I can see that being a scene of her talking to a bunch of heads on the screen and people going like, I don't think so. And then her just kind of laying it out little piece by piece, putting them all in their place. And then they all just kind of like, okay, approved. And, that's a 5-minute quick scene. But I love that he does run away. Like, where are you going, man?
Yeah.
I know they're going to catch you.
Yep.
Where are you going to? You're going to keep hiding well enough until the ship has to take off? No, you're done.
There is a scene in the book where she talks about, like, I know at the end of this, I will probably go and spend the rest of my life in prison. And it's the price I'm willing to pay to, like, save humanity. Because, like, when this all, like, let's say we save Earth, all this damage has been done. They're going to need someone to blame. They're going to blame me. But she's, like, okay with that. Yeah. Which is, like, why she's the perfect person for this job. To go, like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Because I know I'm, like, the person for the job. And then whatever punishment you throw my way, it is what it is.
History will remember me.
So 2 changes in the movie that I liked, but arguably aren't necessary either, is you never like cut back to Earth. You know that the sun gets turned back on or whatever, so you just assume that the human race is fine. We don't see what happens to Strat or anything like that. So to see her like in a cold world but like smiling because like they're willing to save it, or they were able to save it, like that was kind of nice. And then in the book, he never gets to go on Rocky's ship, so we never see the inside of his ship. Okay. So that was all for the movie. Very Interstellar-esque looking ship, because you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
It wasn't the Tesseract, right?
A blip A. That's what they call it.
You're talking about Interstellar.
In Interstellar.
Oh.
When he's tumbling through the infinite libraries? What are they? It's not called the Tesseract, is it?
I think it was.
It is. Yeah. Okay, yeah,
yeah. So like that was kind of cool to like. I'd like to see an alien ship. I want to go in there, of course.
But pointless.
But it's like it was just like, how do we get another cool visual in here?
Yeah,
and that's all it was for.
There's no like Ryland saying like, how's this work or how's that work? It's just, hey, here's what a ship looks like. A bunch of stringy shit.
Yeah, here's a bunch of lines. Like, okay, I saw it, but
no,
how?
I much preferred in the book where it's like, nah, I can't, literally, I cannot exist on your ship. I would love to see your ship, but I'll die.
Mm-hmm. Like,
that's what
I think had something to do with, I think, with like the gravity difference.
And gravity, all that stuff.
Like Rocky could be on ours, but he needed the thing. But if, no matter what they did, if he stepped on his ship, it would have killed him. Mm-hmm. That's why they built him like that huge biodome that he lives in. Mm-hmm. That was all specifically engineered for him. Which like it's kind of like you can kind of see in the background, like there's geological shapes. That was geographical shapes. Thank you. Yeah.
Geometric shapes.
Geometric shapes. He's in like a biosphere that they built for him, but like it's kind of hard to tell. Like, oh, he just must live on this planet now. But it's like, no, he's
like, was the ocean? Do they have oceans? And they just like, okay, that's for him.
It was supposed to be pitch black. You couldn't see anything. At all because they don't have eyeballs. They only use echolocation. But
then why do they care about their son? You ain't seeing shit. Get out of here, weird rock guy. You can survive the cold.
Yeah, to them the planet was all black, but I don't know if they actually really describe what the planet looks like.
Yeah, it's all black to them.
It's all theory. It's all like based on your atmosphere, the density of your planet. This is what I imagine your planet to look like, and it was definitely
But everything you see is just like was designed for him.
Yeah. Then for me, surprisingly, it was like pretty spot on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, they tweak a little thing here or there, but like
you don't see him eating meat burgers.
There's no meat burgers.
They should have had like at least as a Easter egg of just a burger in his little house.
And there may be
with like a wrapper with his face on it.
That'd be really funny.
That's just for the fans. Yeah.
Did all the little rock babies? Do they all have 5 limbs? Is that like the standard?
I didn't get a good look at them enough.
I know it's like they all had different shapes.
Different shapes and colors and stuff. But I don't remember.
There's something about only the 5 limbs that kind of bugged me. It's like he needed that 6th one to be more symmetrical. I don't know. There's something, because it was never like one out ahead as a head or as a tail. It was always like off to the side. Like, I don't know. It needed 6.
I know he couldn't do it, but like the horror movie in me makes me go like it would have been cool for him to like look in and just see like all these different rocks and then just see like one rock arm come out. Like it should have just looked like he was a singular item and then he like became articulated as
but it's like what in their nature do they need to like look like a rock, you know? But I like that he had like little clothing pieces.
Oh yeah, that was
you know, and he's got like little designs on it.
Even the jewelry, like
now maybe because you read it more. I don't think that like digital screen existed in the ship. Okay. I think that was all just to give him something cute to do together.
No.
So did he have his little crystal to point at screens so he could read? Oh, he did have that.
He invented that in the middle of the book.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. But like that whole screen being added, I think was just to have an extra like visual
aspect to it, which like from a filmmaking standpoint is smart, and like them having like the fireworks was real cute and stuff.
But like for the book, what I really liked was like that ship was bare bones. There wouldn't have been something like that. Like we made this ship for this mission. We're not having little fun shit on the side. He doesn't even.
You missed the trees. Let us give you a tree room.
No. Yeah, he doesn't even break into that vodka until like the last 40 pages of the book. Really? It's the first scene of the movie. He's like drinking vodka. I was like, damn, they really are changing it up. But like by the end, I was like, it's pretty much the same.
I mean, I couldn't remember. I thought like maybe he had because there was 3 bags, I think. And I thought maybe he had one bag in the beginning and then saved the other 2 for later. I don't remember.
Yeah, like he never looks at their personal belongings until like towards the very end of the book, and he's like getting drunk with Rocky, and Rocky's wearing like the ceremonial garb and stuff. And
I like his little spikes that came out that he could just make his own clothes.
Did you his voice, like how did he sound in your head? Because like in the movie, I'm glad they went over like multiple voices until they came upon that voice.
I think that was a fun little bit.
Yeah, but like in my head, I don't know, like I found him to be a little like, I don't know. It didn't quite sound how I thought.
I think it sounded exactly how I thought. Because, like, Rocky is doing the Star Wars thing of, like, the best character in any Star Wars movie is, like, the droid. And you just kind of find, like, a droid voice that has just, like, enough humanistic tone to it so you can, like, get jokes and intention and sarcasm, that kind of stuff. And, like, it just really... Whatever that tone is, like, computer voice... It really works, and that's how I just kind of attributed that to that.
Did you? Because for me, I was imagining what we got at the very last scene where we're just seeing the subtitles for him talking. Because in the book, it's like chapters worth of them learning each other's language, and then it's like suddenly I'm starting to understand these chords and each chord and recognize each chord. I don't even need to look at the screen. I thought we were going to get to that sooner, but we didn't really get that.
Not until the very
and then and like. I was waiting for that, but I thought, that was an interesting difference, I guess. I don't know.
Because it doesn't say how long he's on that planet when he's doing the whole teaching thing. It seems like, he's been there for like a couple months or a year maybe. Because he hasn't ate, but like I'm pretty sure in the book it's been like a decade or more that he's been on that planet.
I can't remember.
I can't remember though.
Yeah. I know he was in his 50s.
He got old.
Is that goodbye? Do they mention, the arm?
I think that was for the movie. I don't remember anything
I don't remember that in the book either, but... So that was
one thing I remember about the book that I don't know if I think it probably was like this in the movie. I can't really remember, but like I like that from the most of the book. When Rocky is talking to him, it's like broken English because it's like a very rough translation. But then by the very end of the book, when he's talking. He's got all those words filled in because he's learned the language better. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, how long is it from him waking up to sending the probe of the information to Earth?
There's chapters where it's like, we've been working on this for 6 weeks, and it's like, damn, how much time has been passing?
I'd say probably no more than a year and a half, but probably less. But it's because like. So in the movie, for example, he said, we're genetically engineering this predator to survive whatever. And I forget. And they had to do 81 of them or something like that. Like a ton of like, all right, so we're doing this one to genetically engineer, and they're doing that experiment over and over and over again. And I don't know.
Like going down and...
No.
Not the chain thing.
Not the chain thing.
Okay.
They can only do that once. But they're
breeding a master race of Talmida that can deal with the atmosphere of Venus.
So I don't know what the thing is they have to do, but it's like, or like, here's the amoeba, we're injecting this much nitrogen, and then that breeds strain 2.
Breeding a nitrogen-resistant version.
Whatever the chemical is, and so it's just like, just introducing enough of that until it gets strong enough to like, oh, it doesn't need this thing anymore, then now it's strong enough to like survive Earth's or doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it matters.
Basically, it's just saying like science takes a long fucking time.
Yeah.
But they also have like
the whole book is just science.
Science, yeah. And so they have to go through an experiment. An experiment takes a long time, and they're doing all this stuff. So like they're up there for long stretches of time. But because they're also on the clock, they do things relatively quickly. So I'd say no more than a year and a half, but I could be, because I think they only had like enough supplies to last 3 years. Something along those lines.
And when he sends the probe back, is that probe also going to take 11 years to get back to Earth? No, because it only took them 4 years.
Yeah, it was only like 4.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, but I thought they said 11.7 light years, but they were doing it in 4, so they're going faster than the speed of light by at least 2.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
but it's
so
like, so sending back, is it going to be the same amount of time?
Let's say 4 years it would take to get there and back. Right. Yeah. But the probes are also obviously powered by astrophage, so they would.
But they're also smaller, so I would figure like maybe
no, I don't
it would
think
be.
That matters in the grand scheme of things.
But there's like the whole thing of them using when his engines are gone because the Talmiba break out into it. Like they end up using the beetles to like to steer the ship. There's so much shit like that. That's the kind of stuff I understand why they cut it out, because it's like this movie would have been 7 hours long.
Sure, because at the same time, like there might be people who watch this movie and go like, "Well, I have this question. Any question you have, the book answers." Now the book is making shit up because astrophage doesn't exist. And, like it's all very
speculative science.
Yeah, but like there's a reason for everything, and it all checks out. It's just like watching the movie, you might have questions, but the book answers it. So.
So last thing, because I know like both of us are like, you're just listening to like, I didn't read this book.
No, that's cool. I mean, we're getting close to 2 hours here, but this is
cut it all.
No. This is a great episode for anyone who wants the answers.
Yeah, one moment that they just kind of fly over, and I guess I don't know if they really focus on it that much in the book, but really hit me in the book that. In the movie also kind of hit me, but only because I was thinking back on the book and it didn't seem like anybody else gave a shit. There's a moment where Rocky is telling Ryland about how he's the only one that lived on his whole crew. Like he had like 30 or something. It was like 23 or something, like other Iridians on his...
24 of them, 23 of them died.
Yeah, and they all died from radiation because they don't understand radiation. Yeah. And he was like the one that lived, who worked in the
because
engineering.
his lab was next to
the astrophysics.
Yeah, exactly. They do go over that. But like it hits so much harder in the book to me for some reason, where he's just like, I last won. I only won. Like whatever. And it's just like, holy shit, like that's fucking. And how long you been out here? Years. Like I've been floating around here for years, not knowing why they all died.
Yeah, I mean, has he been doing science the whole time?
Engineering, yeah. I don't know. That was like, I mean, that's just, again, any book, it's like they have more time to really build the stuff. But that moment really hit for me. And in the movie, it did too, but I feel like it was only because I was thinking back on the moment where he's explaining that to him in the book. But yeah, that was one of the moments that really hit me for sure.
Yes, speaking of moments that hit, also a big part of the book is like how important, and they touch on it in the movie as well, like how important to their culture watching each other sleep is. Like there's so many instances of just like, you know, Ryland is just like overworked and tired and getting angry and making mistakes and stuff, and Rocky's like, you need to go to sleep. Don't worry, I'll watch you. He's like, you don't have to fucking watch me. Like, I will wake up, I promise. He's like, no, you don't understand. I'm going to watch you. And then you watch me sleep. And then just like, that sort of like relationship.
Why do they need to watch each other sleep?
Because it's a survival thing. They don't know. We sleep for 8 hours, but they may sleep for 2 hours. They may sleep for 16. And because they don't have any like features and they like live in the dark and stuff, like they can't tell when each other like die.
And they're like completely immobilized when they're
and then like you can do whatever you want to them, they will not wake up. So it's just like I don't remember if they say if they like have predators on their planet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's eating little rock spiders?
They need someone to watch them to protect them while they sleep. Otherwise, like things I guess can kill them, or like something can happen and they won't wake up. So it's just like a survival thing. So it's like, I protect you, you protect me. Like that's how their culture works.
Okay.
And just like little things like that make it also cool, and also like just make you feel all warm and nice inside, because it's like two buddies just like We need each other.
Let me tell you about my best friend.
It's all just great stuff. There's very few books that I've read where there's like an animal creature or like some other being, and just like where I buy that relationship so genuinely and easily. And Rocky and Rylan have that relationship where I'm like, I buy everything that's happening here.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not a humanoid creature that has 2 eyes and 2 legs, and they're able to shake each other's hand. Like, I'm glad it's a very alien thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hug that guy. I want to hug that rock.
I would hug that rock. Hell yeah.
He's pretty cool.
That's why I bought the little plush that they got coming out.
Remember from the trailers, I thought he was going to be a lot bigger.
I thought he was going to be bigger too.
Yeah.
I mean, they said he's like dog size, but I just don't know why I imagined him bigger. But he seems like too scary.
Hair would have been too scary, I feel like.
Yeah.
And also he has to get into the ship in his little hamster ball, so you can't make him too big.
Yeah, I know. Tight corners and stuff in there. I think the book too. Well, I think it was when he had like that black smoke stuff. Like Grace tried to like carry him, but because he's a rock monster, he's like, this guy. Even in like 0G, this motherfucker's heavy as shit. But you don't see anything.
He burns himself. He's so hot too. Like, there's so many things. Oh wait. Just because we've talked about just because we talked about the book a lot, just focusing on the movie, since I know you saw that. I think I was telling Steve too, and I know I told you earlier, but like they shot most of this movie for IMAX, and I paid the money to go see it in IMAX, and like I don't regret it at all because like the space scenes are crazy. Like I think the Adrian catching the Talmiba scene, the go fishing scene, whatever, and then all the shit I knew that was coming. Like when that scene was coming. Because that's like crazy in the book too. Like I sat up, I was like, "Here we go. Here's the scene of the movie." But like, it really exceeded my expectations. I think that's going to be like a scene of the year, even if there's more to it in the book, obviously. But really, a really great scene. I know they didn't use much green screen for this movie, so all the 0G stuff looks really good.
And a lot of Rocky stuff is puppet.
Yeah, like half puppet, half CGI. Like really, just just a beautiful movie.
Do you know the budget? Anyone see any budget information?
I read something like 250 million or something.
That makes sense.
See, I was thinking like, and it's they did all this and it came under 100 million. Aren't they great? Like, no, okay, it's an expensive one.
But I mean, the money. I mean, it's
well spent.
Yeah, I think I was reading like the biggest opening for a franchise movie like in a long time. So, which I think this movie is the perfect example of how much good reviews and word of mouth can boost the sales, ticket sales for an opening week. Because I'm sure the movie would have done well. Plenty of people read this book. I think that was a big part of who went and came out to see this movie. But I think when you have the reviews that were coming out, I think a lot of people are like, oh, this is like one of those events. Like, I need to be in a theater to see this. Because I didn't think it was going to make this much money. It's insane how much money this movie made. But being in my theater, even though it wasn't quite as full as you guys, but I don't think anybody goes to the theater that I went to. I think it's like to this day, even though it's been there, it's just never busy.
They really didn't develop that area well enough for it to be the theater.
No. Great IMAX though. And the only IMAX in our state. So.
Yeah.
But
can you narrow down where we're recording from?
Good luck. But looking around when I was leaving, like it's perfect example of what you said earlier. I saw 6-year-olds all the way to 86-year-olds in that, just in the sample group of like 50 that were in my screening. So yeah, good stuff. I
also want to shout out the score. I thought the score was pretty good.
Speaking of the score, it's a great score. I've been listening to it a lot.
And according to AI overview from Google,
data center
allegedly had a production budget of approximately $200 million, with the gross budget reaching $248 million before tax credits. So in the 200 plus zone for this movie.
And
that's about right.
They usually say budget times 2 is like that's what you do for marketing for these things. So like
they marketed this movie
$500 million. This movie better be making $1 billion, otherwise it's going to be considered a bomb.
I don't know if it'll make $1 billion.
Yeah.
If it makes over 500 million, I think they're all right.
They'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Whew. Long episode. Longest one we've had in a very long time. But we had things to say.
we took off last week.
Yeah. We had to make up for it. Well, next week is Steve, it's your birthday weekend.
Oh shit!
Zazzy Beats, here I come.
Yeah, They Will Kill You is like the only thing releasing. Is that something you're willing to watch, or?
Oh, I think it looks
Hell
fun.
yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
And the AI doc.
And the AI doc. Yeah. All right, so They Will Kill You will be our topic for next week. That is, if we even get together, because it's a bi-weekly podcast now. But if you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. Nick, thanks for coming. Thanks for fisting our bumps.
Nice.
As always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.
And keep consuming.